Hi, I'm not gonna sing right now, partly because my voice hasn't been really up to singing lately, because of testosterone and things happening in me and changing my vocal cords, and also because I just kind of feel like ranting and not singing right now. Um, I think I want to rant about political science class. I've been taking a political science class for a couple of weeks, and I've noticed something about the people who go to my political don't tip over the coffee. Go to my political science class. I have to say first that I am on the extreme left kind of area of the political spectrum, and this camera works backwards, so I just gestured a different way. But um, I'm kind of a pinko commie type person. I don't support the things the USSR or like the Shining Path in Peru has done. There are obviously critiques to be made about communist regimes that have actually like been put into practice. But I like the idea of socialism. I will support socialist ideas and like leaders and stuff. Um, and I just think there's a lot of like very valid criticism to be made about capitalism. And I've noticed that a lot of people, like in my polisci class, do not think this, and that my teacher doesn't think this. And I don't really mind that because people have their own opinions, but the teacher has a responsibility to have everyone like be able to come up with their own ideas about stuff. And when you're with a class of teenagers who maybe haven't read a lot about things, you don't really want to like tell them what to believe if you're a teacher, or I don't think that that is how things should work. And I don't know, he's just been kind of dismissing different political ideologies without really giving them time to sink in. Like, obviously, if you mention something like communism in passing and you refer to it as like a dystopian thing with like totalitarianism, I mean, communist regimes in the past have ended up as totalitarian regimes, but that is not what communism is about. And by skipping over it, you're making sure that people don't understand like a primary part of 20th century history. Like they don't comprehend any of that, and they will never comprehend it if you treat communism as something that's like inherently totalitarian. And like if you do the same thing with fascism, people don't understand like why it's that bad, because a lot of people are nationalist and they don't see how nationalism can lead to things like super terrifying imperialist, super capitalist, weird things that are scary. And if they have a very vague conception of political ideologies, they will have a very vague conception of history, and because of that, they may not be interested in history, and that's bad, because people need to learn history in order to understand things that happen now. And you also need to learn to understand socialism so you can understand, like, the election in Venezuela, and, like, what Hugo Chavez is doing that is bad or not bad, depending on your opinion of stuff. Like, you need to know about theory to know about real life, in my opinion. Also, my teacher is a straight cisgender, which means non-trans person for anyone watching this who doesn't know what that means. And he's white, and he's male, and he's financially secure and able-bodied, and like middle-aged, and a dad of 2 kids or something. And like, that's about like, this qualifies him for the You're a Good Person award, awarded by like Privilege and Society in America. And so he has no struggles in the liberal capitalist thing we live in. Like, and I use liberal in its like traditional historical sense, meaning like no regulation on the free market. So a synonymous with capitalism. He has no biff with capitalism. He has no biff with like any of the constructs our society sets up. And as a result, like, his opinion is inherently biased because he doesn't have any personal struggles. And so he was preaching the other day that we should be tolerant of everyone with different ideas from us. Well, no, because I'm not going to be tolerant of someone who says that like, I don't know, basically my teacher doesn't have to worry about someone dragging him to an alley and killing him, or he doesn't have to worry about not being able to get upstairs. He doesn't have to worry about not being able to marry someone, or not being able to live in a polyamorous commune with someone, or because he's not interested in that, and that doesn't relate to him. And so I don't know. I just feel like people with privilege need to like acknowledge all of their privileges when talking to people, because there's a lot of people in our class, like, okay, I can't say that there's a lot of gay people in our class, but I think there's probably a couple gay people in our class, myself included. Gayish, queer-ish, and there's definitely people of color in our class, and there's definitely people from military backgrounds, and then people from non-financially secure backgrounds, and there are people from like all walks of life and all movements of life and stuff, and they probably aren't going to listen to him or absorb anything he says if he doesn't acknowledge his privileges. So that makes me frustrated. And I'm sharing it with the internet because my friends have heard enough about this. Have a nice day.